Hello, hi. Good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever this is for you. I am checking in right now because I want to talk about boundaries. I want to talk about why they're important for creating and building healthy relationships. I'm Jessica Amos. I am a mindfulness teacher, a boundaries and relationship coach, and I'm the founder of Stay With Yourself, which is the practice of being who you are, where you are. And part of why I'm realizing it's very important to talk about this subject so directly and consistently and constantly, especially today, is I'm in the process of, I've been working on my website almost all day, building a page that is much more clear and concise, that's talking about my one-on-one coaching program around boundaries specifically. And as I'm writing the content for it, I am seriously getting so excited, and it's very difficult for me to try to pare down into just a web page in a really concise way all the reasons I think we should all be working on boundaries and why boundaries actually create so much freedom and love and joy in our relationships and in our lives. For me, my boundaries journey started over 15 years ago. As some of you know, I didn't even realize I had poor boundaries. I didn't realize I was even anxious. It's amazing to think that I had been spending my whole life feeling super anxious and didn't even realize it. I was pretty much what you would call unconscious. And then when I had my daughter, that's when things really started to shift for me, and I started to look at my relationship with my family, and mostly one particular person in my family, and thinking, gosh, this maybe has been okay for me to be around this kind of person and to be treated this way, but I'm not so sure I want this for my children. And that is when I began to wake up and I started to realize I had some work to do. And it really wasn't even that moment that I realized I had work to do. It was because there was a coach that I had in my life who told me, you know, the way that you're treated and the way this is happening, first off, it's not your fault. And secondly, it's not okay. And no one had ever told me in my life before that the way I was having relationship with my step-parent wasn't okay, or that it wasn't my fault, that the way I was being treated wasn't my fault. And so I started to practice boundaries. And boundaries was a big, scary word. I think a lot of people misuse the word boundaries or are scared of the word boundaries, or the word boundaries makes them cringe because we think of boundaries not as what they actually are, which is like a line going down the center of a highway. It's not an actual barrier. It's not a fortress. It's not a wall. It's just saying, hey, this is your side. This is my side. This is where I end and you begin. This is where you end and I begin. It's really just, boundaries are a message between us and other people and us about our own autonomy, about who we are, that this is who I am and this is the space that I occupy. I know that I'm responsible for this space, and beyond that, I'm not responsible. And to recognize that about other people when we are getting all up into their space and crossing over their lines and into their boundaries, understanding that, hey, wait a minute, we have ended. This is where our boundary, our space has ended. This is where they begin, and this is where respect begins, right? Respect, understanding, honesty, empathy, and open communication. Instead of getting all up in each other's space and trying to get into someone else's space and get in there, we can be back here in our own space, right? And they can be in their own space, and we can have healthy respect, mutual reciprocity instead of codependency where our energy is all mashed together. We can have interdependence where we exchange mutually and with consent what this relationship is. So anyway, I want to talk about just why that's so important to our relationships. for us to feel free and to be ourselves without judgment or without someone coming into that space and infringing on it and causing us to feel anxious or judging us or whatever that is, or for us to do that to other people, to be free of those things, right, is to be free in life, truly. So I just wanted to share a little bit of that today. I'm especially excited because I've been working on it. I'm a little tired, but yeah. I hope you feel my excitement for how much I love boundaries and how important this work is, and how much it bleeds into actually all areas of our life. We can say, oh, boundaries and relationship boundaries and this and that, but so much of it has to do with our boundaries with so many other things, even our own boundaries, crossing our own personal boundaries. If I've decided this is a choice I'm making for myself in order to be in integrity, and then I don't honor that boundary I've set up with myself, right? Then I'm not building trust with myself, and I'm out of integrity, and so on and so forth. So I could go on, but I'm going to be on here a lot more, probably talking more directly about boundaries, people-pleasing, codependency, truth-telling, and all of that stuff, because I want you to know this is really, really important. I invite your questions. I invite you to respond with your feelings about boundaries and what you're learning, because this is how we grow together, right? By sharing. Okay, sending you all the love today. Remember, stay with yourself today. Do your thing. Do you. Loving you. Bye.